Okay, so I'm definitely live now. I did not. I guess I kind of just randomly clicked
I
it.
just sent them all a message that,
Phew.
basically, I'm not bailing on them, that, I
Give
didn't
me
mention
like
anybody's name.
give me
I
like
didn't mention anybody's name.
5 minutes,
Just said,
okay,
I'm not
everyone?
bailing on you. I
Just
said,
hang tight. All right, guys, we are live with the audio. We're going to be pulling up the video right now. How's everyone doing today? I am here with a couple other patriots, and we've been trying to figure out what the best course of action is as far as what we're doing here in DC. And I think one of the most important things we need to do before we start going over what our plans are is to educate on why we are doing what we're doing. Simon's in the shower, and Eddie and Loy are chilling in the background here, but we're going to go ahead and pull up a few things. All right, so first one is, honestly, we need to be looking up the 10th Amendment too. 10th Amendment. Okay. The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution being amended or vested or enumerated or vested, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively, or to the people. Okay, the lower magistrate doctrine, is basically the 10th Amendment, right? If the federal government fails to adhere to our rights, it gets passed down to the states. If the states fail to adhere to our rights, it gets passed down to the people. So through the 10th Amendment, right, these attorney generals, these politicians, these governors, they're all working for us right now, right? If we are enacting the 10th Amendment and operating under the 10th Amendment. Now, I spoke to my attorney general yesterday. Honestly, I'd almost like to pull that conversation up for anybody that might have missed it. So I'll pull that up. But before I play that, let's talk about the white flag. Okay. So the white flag, the part that we're going to be looking at is, a lot of people associate the white flag with surrendering. But here's the thing. It also means a desire to communicate, so it's either or, one or the other. And we are going to be peacefully parlaying. A desire to communicate. Persons carrying or waving a white flag are not to be fired upon, nor are they allowed to open fire. The use of the white flag to request parley is included in the Hague Conventions of 1899 and 1907. Okay. So, an individual is considered a parliamenteer. Okay, so to anybody that doesn't know what a parliamenteer is, I've got that definition up right here. A parliamenteer is defined by the U.S. Department of Defense as an agent employed by a commander of belligerent forces. Now, I know that's a confusing word, like belligerent. How does that apply here? Well, it is a person, a nation or a person engaged in war or conflict as recognized by international law. Okay. So an individual is considered a parliamenteer who is authorized by one person, by one of the belligerents, so a person or a nation, right? We are Americans, we are U.S. citizens, we are concerned U.S. citizens in this nation, right? And we are also a person, right? So a parliamenteer is who is authorized by one of the belligerents to enter into communication with the other. Communication. We have a desire to communicate. Okay? So an individual is considered a parliamenteer who is authorized by one of the belligerents to enter into communications with the other and who carries the white flag. He has a right to inviolability. And you know what? Honestly, I was going to pull that one up in the definitions too. Basically, let's go ahead and just pull that up real quick. Secure from assault or trespass. Okay? So when we're talking about like protesting on the Capitol like steps or at the White House or something along those lines, like we would have the right to do so while we're peacefully parlaying. So back to the definition. He has a right to inviolability, which would, again, be secure from assault or trespass, as well as the trumpeter, the bugler or drummer, the flag bearer, and the interpreter who may accompany him. We are all Americans. We are all peacefully parlaying. This is something that that affects all of us. Coco's drinking some water down here. She's parlaying for water right now. She is trespassing into the microphone peacefully to get a drink of water. Okay, so what we want to do is we want like the white flag thing. We are not surrendering. We are not surrendering. We desire to communicate. All right, so the messaging has to be crystal clear. So let's see if this is the same as it was on my phone, if it's got the little tabs at the bottom. Yes, okay, right here. The freaking white flag has a COVID-19 pandemic section. Okay, so we're looking at ways that the left or any opposing opposition would be trying to twist or contort our messaging. And it's funny that I found this because Brussels raised a white flag to support and express gratitude for carrying amid the coronavirus outbreak. So I'm not too sure, like, if that is going to be able to be used against us, but we are definitely not surrendering. We are coming to parlay, and we want to parlay under the 10th Amendment, being that the rights are reserved to the people, being that the federal and state levels have not adhered or enforced their oath of office. So, with the WHO and with the COVID-19 response, it's a violation of our Constitution. It is unlawful. It is illegal. It is treason. It is tyranny. And we have the 10th Amendment on our side. Not only that, but we have the First Amendment, the Third Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, the Ninth Amendment, other amendments such as the 11th Amendment, the 13th Amendment, Section 1, 14th Amendment, Sections 1, 3, and 4, the 15th Amendment, Section 1. I need to pull up the other ones, but there's also code that we have on our side. And religious, medical, and political discrimination, as well as retaliation, is definitely a constitutional right as well. So what we want to do is make our messaging crystal clear. We want to get some white flags. We want to fly our American flags upside down next to them. We want to get T-shirts that have the messaging as crystal clear. Maybe on the front they say "Peaceful Parley." It's a peaceful parlay, and maybe on the back put a Parliamenteer, or maybe even "We are magistrates." One of the two. I think "We are magistrates" is necessary to include the 10th Amendment. I'm sitting here kind of just thinking. We've been discussing. I had like a group chat with a bunch of people across the country last night, and we were talking about some things. And carrying the white flag and peacefully parlaying is one of them. All right. So let me pull up my live chat here. We are Americans, guys. I'm not operating under a group. I am a concerned American. This has nothing to do with organizations and the power struggle between, oh, which group do we follow? Which organization do we follow? Do we follow the People's Convoy? Do we follow the American Freedom Convoy? Do we follow the Idaho Convoy? Do we follow the 1976 whatever? Like, we're Americans. That's the freaking organization, y'all. And that's through the American Constitution, the United States Constitution, is the authority that we have to fight back against this. Why are we distracted and confused with, oh, what group do we follow? What group do we follow? We are Americans. That's the freaking group. All right? Get up off your ass. Contact your sheriffs. Contact your attorney generals. Tell them we are lesser magistrates. The federal and state levels have failed to adhere to our rights. They now work for us. They need to rally together and restore and respect and adhere to the Constitution, to the human rights, the unalienable and inalienable rights that God has given us, or our Creator has given us. Okay, so we are Americans. What organization do we represent? America. They can't cut the head off the snake, right? We're coming to peacefully parlay in a time of conflict, okay? In a time of conflict. This is a belligerent country right now. It really is. There's countries across the world that are belligerent right now, meaning engaged in war or conflict, whether it be informational warfare, whether it be religious warfare, whether it be political warfare, whether it be economic warfare, whether it be chemical warfare with the vaccines, whether it be biological warfare with the creation of COVID-19 in the first place, whether it be there's a lot of others. I'll make a list one of these days. But these are belligerent countries because we are engaged in war or conflict. All right? So we need our messaging to be on point. Right now, we're looking for people that would like to participate as Americans. Hold on, let me turn this down. And support going to, like the Capitol Police, right? Going to the Capitol Police building and talking to the major or the deputy or whoever's in charge there. I don't even know. I know that, as far as the sheriff's office goes, it's like the sheriff, then the major, and then there's like the deputy chief sheriff or some shit.
Very good idea.
What's that?
If we would go talk to the local sheriff first, one of the first things we do, just for our personal safety, so he's at least aware of what's happening
Yeah.
and why we're here, who
Yeah.
we are.
Yeah. First thing
Because
today.
He is our local protection.
Yeah.
He has authority right here where
We're
we are
talking
right now.
about the local sheriff here in
Correct.
Oh, zip it.
Yep.
We don't give away our location online. Okay.
Right. I was gonna say county,
Okay.
I
Okay.
want to go out, but
I know,
get it.
but there's people out there that
Yeah.
yeah, they'll try to find us.
Understood. Yeah.
So if y'all would like to help, what we need is I want to get t-shirts made that say Peaceful Parley on them, white t-shirts. We need maybe the back to say we are magistrates. And we need white flags. I want to get 2 shirts for everyone here. There's 4 of us right here right now. And I want to get shirts made up, and I want to get white flags for everybody, or at least 1 white flag. Because in this definition here, right, according to this, we would have the right to not only inviolability, but so would the trumpeter. That's our trumpeter is Simon. He's got the bullhorn. I've got the laws and stuff typed out as I showed you guys. I don't even know let's look what this. What even is this? I don't even know what this is. Oh, so it'd be a person who sounds a bugle. Okay, so that's like an old trumpet. All right. Well, then what's the difference between a trumpeter and a bugler or drummer? The flag bearer and the interpreter who may accompany him. So anyways, there's 4 of us. There's about 4 of them that, according to this chapter 3, article 32, there's 4 of us. So I want to get 2 shirts for each person. Each one says Peaceful Parley, and we are magistrates on the back, all white and black. White t-shirt, black lettering, carrying the white flag. Right, because we are coming to communicate. We have a desire to communicate via a peaceful parley. All right. Now, again, we are magistrates. The lesser magistrate doctrine declares that when the superior or higher civil authority makes unjust or immoral laws or decrees, the lesser or lower ranking civil authority has both a right and a duty to refuse obedience to that superior authority. Okay? So, when we go to places like the Capitol Police and we're talking about Joe Biden, etc., right? We have a duty to refuse obedience to them, and I would suggest we do it through a peaceful parley. That way they cannot come at us like we're terrorists or insurrectionists. Okay? If our messaging is crystal clear that we are coming to peacefully parley, as a lesser magistrate, as the authority in this country via the federal and state governments have failed to adhere to the Constitution or uphold their oaths of office. I feel like this is a good start here. I'm also going to look up what was it, Article 6, Section 2.
See, I really need a computer too.
Oops.
This takes me twice as long on my phone. I get sit down with the computer. That's the one downside about this.
So I hate the name of this
Where we say before had computer.
the title of this, because it's one of those things that they could attack our messaging with. But just so you guys are aware, so basically it has to do with the doctrine of lesser magistrates as well, when they make unjust or immoral laws or decrees. And the supremacy clause, right, also states that establishes that the Constitution, federal laws made pursuant to it, and treaties made under its authority constitute the supreme law of the land, and thus may take priority over any conflicting state laws. So basically, let's see here. However, federal statutes and treaties must be within the parameters of the Constitution. That is, they must be pursuant to the federal government's enumerated powers. None of these mandates, none of this who stuff has been enumerated or vested into the Constitution. All right? And also, these must not violate other constitutional limits on federal power, such as the Bill of Rights or particular interest in the 10th Amendment of the United States of the Constitution, which state that the federal government has only those powers delegated to it by the Constitution. All right? So when we talk about the mandates and the WHO crap and really anything, right, it comes down to we govern ourselves, right? we are one nation under God, not one nation under government. Okay? So we govern ourselves. And the federal powers that be have been violating our human rights, our unalienable and inalienable, our constitutional rights, the supreme laws of the land. Where was that? The supreme law. But I don't like the word supremacy, because then they'd be like, oh, they're carrying a white flag, they're white supremacists. I don't know. But here's the thing, that's why we have to make it crystal clear that we are coming to peacefully parlay. Okay? Yo, where's Julius at? Where's William Owens at? Come stand next to me, that way they can't call us a white supremacist while we do this. Oh, Lori's in the shower. So Simon, what do you think about the T-shirts with the say Peaceful Parley and We Are Magistrates on the back?
Yeah, I mean, I need to learn more about it. I don't even know what parlay means.
It's a desire to communicate, like it's a communication, right? In a time of conflict or war, the white flag either symbolizes surrender or a desire to communicate through parlay.
Okay.
All right. I can give you the actual definition real quick if you'd like. A conference between opposing sides in a dispute, especially a discussion of terms for a armistice.
Armistice.
What is it? How's it?
Armistice.
Armistice.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, it's just communication. We're coming to parlay, peacefully communicate. Right? Now, as I was describing, I wish you guys would have been sitting here. I've already went through this, but I'll do it again. All right. So the white flag, right? You're curious about learning about the white flag.
Yeah.
So the white flag is an internationally recognized protective sign of truce or ceasefire and for negotiation. It is also used to symbolize surrender, since it is often the weaker party which requests the negotiation. It is also flown on ships serving as cartel ships, truce. Either way, we are here to communicate. Okay. Persons carrying a white flag signifies the approaching negotiator is unarmed with intent to surrender or a desire to. So a white flag signifies to all that approaching negotiator is unarmed with an intent to surrender or a desire to communicate. Persons carrying or waving the white flag are not to be fired upon, nor are they allowed to open fire. The use of the flag to request parley is included in the Hague Conventions of 1899 and 1907. Moving on here, an individual is considered to be a parliamenteer. We'll pause. Parliamenteer is defined by the U.S. Department of Defense as an agent employed by a commander of belligerent. Now let's stop. We got to go to what make sure you understand what the belligerent is. It's a nation or person engaged in war or conflict as recognized by international law. So a parliamenteer is defined by the U.S. Department of Defense as an agent employed by a commander of belligerent forces in the field to go in person with the enemy, within the enemy lines for the purpose of communicating or negotiating openly and directly with the enemy commander.
All right.
Okay.
Well, according to international law, we're not at war.
We're in conflict. And if we enact, if we are enacting the 10th Amendment, the doctrine of lesser magistrates,
Yeah.
we are in some type of a civil conflict, a civil war.
Right. Well,
Right.
right. You
Economic.
and I believe we are, but
Well,
I don't know that international
we can-
law recognizes it.
It's international, right? The white flag is I mean, it's about peacefully parlaying. Okay. Now, as far as domestic, we have the 10th Amendment through the United States Constitution that states if the federal level, the state levels don't adhere to our rights, it gets passed down to the people.
Yeah, I need to reread the 10th Amendment also.
And yes.
But I'll do that. I gotta boatload of research to do to work on.
These mandates, this WHO stuff, it has not been enumerated or vested into the Constitution. It's unlawful. It's illegal.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, so meaning, where did the test? Did I 10th Amendment?
As were all of the Biden crap illegal that they shut down the world.
The
last
power
2
is
years.
not delegated to the United States by the Constitution. So delegated would be like vested or enumerated, right? Because that's what it would need to be used, right? Either way, so.
Right. The states order the people, yeah.
Oh, did I lose my other tab? All right, so I'm gonna explain to you. I'm gonna move forward a little bit, okay? So, an individual is considered a parliamenteer who has authorized by one of the belligerents to enter into communication with the other, and who carries a white flag. He has the right to inviolability. Do I still have that one up? I think I just exited it out. Which basically means that they can trespass. Hold on.
I don't know why they use these crazy words that nobody knows what they mean.
I had to look them up. But secure from assault or trespass. Okay? So, an individual is considered to be a parliamenteer. You remember what a parliamenteer is? Basically, it's a person that's wanting to communicate or negotiate openly with the enemy commander. Okay? Who is authorized by one of the belligerents. Do you remember what a belligerent is?
See, that's where I don't know if
It's a
we're
nation or
right.
person.
We're not authorized by anybody.
Dude, it's about truce, man. It's about peaceful parley. It's about understanding the lingo here. We are in a conflict, dude. We're in a conflict. We're in a state of emergency, dude. This country is in a state of emergency, is it not?
Well, it is, but it's not official. No, it's not declared. Nobody's
How?
declared anything.
How so? They've enacted the Title 50 through the Proclamation 9994. They've enacted the emergency powers. The
Well,
1970s.
because of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Exactly, and it's still ongoing,
So,
is it not?
it
And
is.
the COVID-19 pandemic
Yeah.
is the reason why we're peacefully parlaying to the violations of our rights. The WHO stuff hasn't even officially happened yet. Okay?
Correct.
So,
Yeah.
we are in conflict. We are in a state of emergency. There is power, like, Fauci
Right,
is
but
under...
We're not part of any.
We are Americans.
Opposing, there's no official conflict that we're representing the opposing force, if you will, if that makes sense.
How so? It's COVID. It's the COVID-19 violations to our rights. You understand?
I get it, and it makes sense.
And
to
through
me,
the 10th Amendment, through the
but
doctrine
according
of...
to this, I don't think it applies, is what I'm saying.
Through the 10th Amendment, the powers are reserved to the people. Okay?
Yeah.
Would you not agree that you've been shouting on your bullhorn that this is treason, this is tyranny, all this stuff, right?
It is.
Okay, so were you in conflict
is.
or are we not in conflict?
We are at conflict, but there's nothing declared, there's nothing official, there's nothing
How
that's
so?
recognized by international law
How so?
as such.
Dude, the white flag is domestic and
Based on the definitions I'm reading, I don't.
well, these are the
think it
short
applies.
definitions, and you could really get into it. But like, which one are you talking about? A belligerent. That's okay. So look, it's like this. It's just the old school terminology. Basically, it's just saying that a nation or a person doesn't even have to be a nation. It could be a person that is engaged in war or conflict.
Right. Well, we're definitely people engaged in conflict,
Yes.
but we're not recognized by international law.
Yes, we are through the 10th Amendment.
That's
Because the powers are reserved to the people. They work for who? Who do they work for? See what I'm saying? Okay, so
I don't know.
Fi-
This is like legal. This is like we need a lawyer to tell us if we have jurisdiction under this stuff.
we have the
I don't-
Constitution that tells us we do.
Yeah, we need a constitutional lawyer to tell us if we have grounds to do this.
No, we don't. If a constitutional lawyer wants to come up and try to re-explain my 10th Amendment right and wants to try to teach me something new about it, I'd be surprised if I learn anything. This
Yeah,
is
I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. I don't know. But I'm not 100% sure that we. I don't know.
well, that's because I'm the one sitting here explaining to this. If you go do the research yourself, right, and do your own due diligence,
Yeah, well,
that's
no,
fine.
Just based on what I'm reading here, it doesn't make sense to me.
How so?
that we
What
that we
questions do you have?
jurisdiction.
Why would we not have jurisdictions as U.S. citizens enacting the 10th Amendment of the lower magistrate doctrine?
Well, I don't know about the 10th Amendment. I'm
Why
just
would
saying.
why would we not have jurisdiction when
My
our
question is
why would we
about
not have jurisdiction?
The white flag laws. That's my biggest.
It's
thing
just
that I'm
all
not
about
sure
a peaceful parlay, dude. That's why the messaging has to be crystal clear, right? A desire to communicate, okay? This is a parlay. It's a request to parlay, right? A parliamenteer, right? An individual is considered a parliamenteer, right? A parliamenteer is an
Right.
agent employed by a commander of a belligerent force, which could be a person, an individual. So you could be your own. You're employed by yourself, right? Of a belligerent force in the field to go in a person within the enemy lines for purposes of communicating or negotiation openly and directly with the enemy commander. Okay, now
So
invulnerability.
We're not an agent, and we're not employed by any other force.
That's what I'm saying. We are a person. We are not a nation. We are a person. We are a concerned U.S.
Right.
citizen.
Belligerent. Okay, go back. Right. So in terms of belligerent,
We are our own commanders. We
says
are Americans.
employed by a commander. We're not employed by anybody.
We're employed by ourselves. A belligerent can be a person.
Correct. But we're not employed by anybody. I don't know. Maybe. I like I said. I
I think
have no
you're being
idea.
too critical.
I think
this is all about the white flag and peacefully parlaying,
yeah,
dude.
Correct. It's above my scope and knowledge. So
Either way,
don't
like
know if
the
it'll
10th
work.
Amendment, the white flag is just to show that we are peacefully parlaying. Okay, we are coming to communicate
We're
peacefully.
coming to communicate peacefully. Right. That's
You
the bottom
understand?
line.
Yes, that's the
And
bottom
so-
line.
It's worth a try.
And
it may.
enacting the 10th Amendment, right, being that the powers are reserved to the people. That's the basis of what we'd be parlaying about. Okay, all of these rights, right?
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to trying. That's yeah. The bottom line. I'm gonna go do some research, but yeah, I'm not opposed to trying. I don't understand these laws, so.
We're already under conflict. We're under a state of emergency. This country has been attacked. You say it all the time. This is an attack.
It is, but
Right.
it's not official. Nobody's recognized
Yes.
it. The only people that even fucking know we're under attack is you and me. And a
Oh,
handful of
whatever.
people.
Whatever.
Like seriously?
No, that's
I'm
not
serious.
right. No.
I'm 100% serious.
No.
Like
I
there's,
do not agree with that.
there's maybe 0.0001% of the United States population that even has a fucking clue that we're under attack.
I disagree with that.
It's depressing. It's super depressing.
The-
I mean,
the-
we're
the-
trying to wake people up. We're trying to help people understand how we're under attack. But there's an extremely small percentage of the people that even know we're under attack. So it's not
True.
It's not. It's definitely not public knowledge, and it's definitely not going to be.
What's your
not gonna
basis?
be,
What's your basis? How did you get your statistics there?
From my experience the last 3 months, walking around the
When
sidewalk
you say
with people wearing masks,
when,
with people.
when you say we've had
giving
millions
us the
of
finger,
support on overpasses, people have joined the convoy, people have joined rallies.
We
We've had
have-
millions of people interacting just in this country.
We have.
We have.
But half the people at the camp that's been with us in the convoy don't even know we're at war.
The Freedom Convoy the American
Yes.
Freedom Convoy over there, I just got word from Chelsea. Guess what? They're someone over there is telling them that this thing is moot. It's done with because too many people found out about it, so they're not going to try to do the WHO thing anymore. I'm like, girl, that's bullshit.
100%. We have half the people that's with us in the convoy that don't even know we're at war. They have
I
no
got
clue.
people back home talking to my own people. They're like, yeah, it's bad. They don't even know we got 6 months. It's a one world ruler. They
Yeah.
don't know the ins and outs. They just know, oh, well, the WHO's trying something.
Right.
No,
How does it
They
affect
don't
me? It
know
doesn't
how-
affect me.
Lori,
serious this is.
Lori, talk to the people.
are you on still?
Yeah, I'm still live.
People need to wake up, man. This is not about anymore. This is not about conservatives.
Yeah.
This is not about, we got to put everything aside. Everything. Democrats, the parties, the Republicans, none of this matters anymore. None of it matters. Because if I've been working at home on the pornography in schools and all this other stuff in schools and the sexualizing of kids, guess what? That really doesn't matter right now. And I say that because none of it's going to matter. Literally, the entire world will be taken over. Our country is going to be taken over. Someone else will control that anyway. We won't have any say-so. So all this stuff we're at home trying to do, getting people
Correct.
on school boards, trying to get people into political places,
None of it will matter.
it will not matter.
So you're saying we're at war?
We are at war.
Okay. So do you like the peaceful parlay?
Peaceful Parley, I think
You're
that's
saying that
absolutely
that the there's a very small percentage of people that even would recognize us to be at war.
Yeah.
Okay. How many people fought the American Revolution?
Wasn't it 3? Was it 3% that stood up or what?
Yeah, rough.
So part of the white
It
flag.
was roughly, yeah. I think that's
Yeah,
what somebody
roughly.
said.
We need at least 3% of the world. Is that what we're saying to stand up or more?
Yeah.
The white flag represents often it is the weaker party which requests the negotiation. Okay, so being that there's a small percentage of people that actually recognize us being at war, right? We would be the weaker party requesting a peaceful parlay.
Right, that makes sense.
You understand? And we were doing
Yeah.
it in peace, right? And as a military member, it is illegal to shoot at, arrest, or become an aggressor to somebody who is carrying a white flag that is not being aggressive, right? If they're coming in peace, they're coming in peace. That is a military standard, okay? Any snipers out there watching us or whatever, if we're carrying a white flag, they see that and they understand that, all right?
Right. So it would give us an element of protection
Yes.
It does.
on the streets of DC.
Like what you're saying, though, Simon. We know there's people out there that do know that. Yeah, this is a battle. It's a war. It's conflict. I mean, it's not bang bang shoot 'em up.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's not that.
It's modern. It's a modern warfare, yeah.
It is. I mean,
Information.
like you mentioned it. You know, whole economic. I mean, everything. You know, chemical. As far as these freaking shots, everything else. But like you were saying, the whole declaration.
Yeah, there's no war that's been declared. Nobody's declared war
That's
on
the only
freedom.
thing that
Nobody's
does concern
declared
me
war
is there
on
being an actual and who's going
biological
who's going
warfare.
to declare that? I mean, we can't. Or I say
To
we
me,
can't.
they declared it already. I know what you're
Well,
saying.
unofficially they did.
They have. I mean, I
Yeah.
can get it. Yeah, they have declared it by doing what they're doing.
But none of the
But
powers
there's-
that be recognize that.
They're not
That's
going to
right.
recognize
Any of
that
these wars.
as a declaration of.
And that's why it's up to us to say, hey, look, we are assuming control through the
Why
10th
don't we
Amendment.
declare war on the WHO?
No.
No?
No,
I'm
no,
just
no,
asking,
no,
is that
no.
bad?
Because here's the
They haven't
thing.
declared
Here's
war on
the
the
thing.
world.
Here's the
They
fucking
declared
thing.
it on
Here's
the
the
world. They declared war on the
fucking
world.
stop.
Yes, okay.
The WHO thing has not even been done yet.
Right.
We have to focus on the violations that have already occurred for the last 2.5 years.
Okay.
Right? That's why we're out here in the first place. The WHO thing hasn't even, and we do have a seemingly choice with the WHO. We would have 48 hours to either accept or reject.
Right.
But it's the Biden administration is the one that proposed these amendments.
They did. They
Okay,
proposed.
so they're just going to go ahead and accept, and they're going to relinquish all accountability to a foreign power.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and that has not even happened yet. We can stop that in 6 months. We have 6 months to stop that.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Only 6 months.
But right now, I think we need to be focusing on what we can prove with the violations of our rights due to the COVID-19 pandemic. That is the focus right now.
Okay.
The who plays into it.
Well,
The
because
reason
we
why
have,
the
because
reason
we
why
have 1.5 days to potentially make enough noise and stop the
Yeah, I
vote.
think
That's my
that's-
focus right now. My focus until the end of this convention in Geneva, my focus is to raise as much awareness as possible, to make as much noise as possible, to make as many phone calls, to get as many people to make phone calls to Biden administration, whatever, until that convention ends. Then no, we can't do anything more about that. Then we got to focus. We got to return to this focus of our current violations.
And why don't
with
we
everything.
want the WHO? What evidence have we seen that indicates why we don't want the WHO to assume control over pandemics in our country?
Well, because we've seen the way the world folded to the CDC recommendations
Regarding what?
regarding the COVID pandemic.
There you go.
Correct.
So, using the previous violations of COVID-19, we can use that as a backbone to say, hey, stop the WHO. And speaking of that, call your representatives, call your,
But we literally
literally
have-
call everybody and
we
make sure
have
it's
less-
documented right now.
We have like
less than
30 hours till
30
the end of the
hours.
convention, roughly. Till the end of the convention. Like that's it. And then after that, our challenge to stop this in the next 6 months to rally the freaking world becomes exponentially more difficult.
I understand.
So we literally have to focus every ounce of our energy for the next 30 hours. We have to stay
And what I want to do,
precision focused on getting the message out, making copies. We need to be making copies. We should be on the streets right now in DC. We should be making phone calls. I need to go call my reps right now again. I haven't done that yet this morning. That's the next thing I got to do. And then I got to get on the computer and I got to find out the status of this bill, which I haven't had time to look yet. I don't know if anybody's watching, if anybody can figure this out. We asked the crowd last night. We need to know where document A75/18, what is the status of that document? That is of the number one paramount thing
A75-18.
that everybody needs to be focusing on trying to figure out right now. What is the status? Where is this document? Where is it? What happened to it? It was on the agenda Tuesday. They didn't have time. They didn't get to it in the committee meeting on Tuesday. So where is it now? That's what I got to go find out, and I got to call my reps.
what do you think
And
about
that's
us?
what everybody needs to be doing right now.
I think one of the messages that we need to get out, because I think this is important, is the churches have not, and the Christians have not been, and I'm going to say that, they have not been standing up like they should. And I think if we can let them understand that this is the one world leader that they are so
Yeah.
worried about, we need to
Correct.
hone on that, because when I saw that,
No,
read
you're
that
right.
article, and I saw that this man will be the sole leader of 99.44% of our population.
Yep.
That is what the end of the Bible speaks about.
Yeah, it is. It's at his sole discretion.
At his sole discretion, he will literally be able, under the guise of health, be able
Yep.
to tell us, everyone in the world, he will lead us all, and nobody
Yep.
even pretty much knows who the hell he is.
Yep. Article 13 of this document says specifically, the WHO shall
That should
offer
scare everybody
assistance.
that is a Christian.
He's
To the soul, to the
Here,
colon.
I'm going to read this to everybody.
Sure.
Article 13 right here.
Sit down and do that.
Terrorist
But
organizations.
that doesn't even matter, dude. It's one person, no matter who he
I
is.
know, I'm just.
Yeah, listen to this,
Nobody
everybody.
knows who he is.
I know.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm going to read this to
He
you.
is a Marxist that has.
Article 13
possible
of these regulations, these proposed amendments to the WHO International Health Regulations. It's the public health response.
This is what
Article 13, it's bullet number 3. The current regulations say, at the request of a state party, the WHO shall collaborate in the response to public health risks. That's the way the current wording is. The new wording removes, strikes out at the request of a state party. So now the WHO shall, and they marked out the word collaborate. They no longer have to collaborate. The new wording, the new proposed amendments say WHO shall offer assistance to a state party, which means a country or a region wherever the issue is identified, in the response to public health risks and other events by providing technical guidance and assistance, and by assessing the effectiveness of the control measures in place, including the mobilization of international teams of experts for on-site assistance. If that doesn't scare the bejeebies out of everybody, based on what is their definition? I know what my definition of this stuff means, but what is their definition of mobilization of international teams of experts for on-site assistance? That could absolutely be interpreted by them to mean Gestapo people making sure that you don't leave your house if they believe there's an emergency out there. It means they could literally, they could shut down your business. They could make sure that they could have teams of experts to make sure that your business stays closed, that nobody enters your business. It could absolutely mean that you can't travel if there's a health risk out there, that you can't travel. The list is unending, but the way this is worded, it completely is at will of the WHO, the director of the WHO, at will. It no longer has to be at the request of a country or a state party, and there's no more necessity to collaborate with anybody. This is at their sole discretion of the general director of the WHO.
And in the name of health, health is not just wearing masks and getting jabs or any of that. Health literally is they will control the schools, mental health, every kind of health. They will control your school. They will
have enormous influence
not only
and
that,
coercion over
not only that, all these people who have been pulling their kids out of school right now and homeschooling them, they will control your homeschooling too.
They will have enormous influence
They
and
will have,
coercion over it.
they will be able to determine whether our country is able to have flights coming in and out.
That
everything.
comes down to what Simon just said on what is their definition.
Exactly, that's what
of
I'm
international
saying.
team.
Racism is a health.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up.
Everything is.
I'm gonna let you continue on, but I'm gonna look up another thing in here that's scary as heck.
Hey guys, and girls, and patriots. So it is my belief we go down there as concerned Americans, and we need to be peacefully parlaying under the 10th Amendment to take back control of our Constitution, right? Or maybe I should rephrase that. Utilizing the 10th Amendment to bring back the sovereignty to the people and respecting our God-given and our inalienable, unalienable, and our constitutional rights. So, and I think in order to do that, we need the support of our elected officials, right? Being that they work for us, right? We are their boss, right? If we have to teach them or treat them like kids, then we will. We will be the parental consent here. It's our rights that are being violated, right? They are supposed to be representing our voices, and they have not done so. All right, there's millions of people across this country that have just supported the convoy, and that's just the pool of people that knew that the convoys existed or the fight for freedom existed. Okay, so out of the small amount of the population that actually knew that the freedom movement was going on or the convoys was going on, millions of people have stepped outside of their home to either come to a rally where the freedom movement was, stationed at their town for the night, or going to an overpass, or giving us a thumbs up or a wave or a smile, or screaming outside of their car windows as we're passing by. They see some of that messaging. All right, and they understand why we're out there. They know what's going on. All right, and we don't need an organization. We don't have to follow one leader. Okay, we are Americans. We are all lesser magistrates. We are all created equal. This government was, it's one nation under God, not one nation under a tyrannical government. Okay, so through the 10th Amendment, we are lesser magistrates. We are magistrates in general, and we would like to peacefully parlay, okay, because we are the weaker, what was it? Hold on. The weaker party requesting the negotiation. Okay, we don't have snipers on roofs. We don't have Capitol Police. We don't have, we don't have any of that. We don't have Air Force One. We don't have the U.S. military under. We are not the commander-in-chief of the United States military, right? And being that they have violated our rights, we have the Constitution on our side. We have almost the entire Bill of Rights on our side. We have almost the entire Constitution on our side. The Declaration of Independence, right? We need to stand up and do something. Right now, I'm thinking about creating a messaging, right, through the 10th Amendment to come and peacefully parlay. That is the message. It has to be crystal clear. And shirts that say peaceful parlay on them, and then we are magistrates on the back. Okay.
Can I give just a couple more updates whenever you get a chance on this?
Sure.
So a couple more of the big points on this, these amendments to the international health regulations. So Article 9, currently, this is what Article 9 says. The proposed amendments are striking this out. They're completely removing this sentence from the current guidelines, regulations. So currently it says, before taking any action based on such reports, okay, WHO shall consult with and attempt to obtain verification from the state party in whose territory the event is allegedly occurring in accordance with the procedures set forth in Article 10. They are completely removing that entire sentence. So they no longer have to obtain verification from the state party that the event is occurring, and before they take any actions based on their information or their knowledge. Also, in section Article 11, Article 12. So Article 12, bullet point 2, says that if the general director considers, based on an assessment under these regulations, that a potential or actual public health emergency, they're adding those words. These new amendments, they're adding the words potential or actual public health emergency of international concern is occurring. The Director General shall, this is added also, notify all state parties and seek to consult with the state party in whose territory the event arises regarding this preliminary determination, and may, in accordance with procedures set forth in Article 49, seek the views of the committee, this emergency committee. Now, listen to this. If the Director General determines, and the current guidelines say, and the state parties are in agreement regarding this determination, they're removing that section. They're removing the section, and the state parties are in agreement according to this determination. So the Director General can now make these decisions on his own, on his sole discretion. He does not have to, the state party does not have to agree with his determination. So the way it will now read, if the Director General determines that the event constitutes a public health emergency of international concern, the Director General shall, in accordance with the procedures set forth in Article 69, seek the views of the newly created emergency committee on appropriate temporary recommendations. I'm going to back up really quick to Article 9, or Article 10 rather. Article 10 clarifies some confusion we had yesterday about the 24-hour and the 48-hour notice. So within 24 hours of receiving a WHO offer of collaboration, the state party may request additional information supporting the offer. WHO shall provide such information within 24 hours. When 48 hours have elapsed since the initial WHO offer of collaboration, failure by the state party to accept the offer of collaboration shall constitute rejection for the purposes of sharing available information with state parties under paragraph 4. So paragraph 4 says, if the state party does not accept the offer of collaboration within 48 hours, the WHO shall, when justified by the magnitude of the public health risk, immediately share with other state parties the information available to it, whilst encouraging the state party to accept the offer of collaboration. So what does the word encouraging mean? Well, the Director General already stated that he would definitely consider sanctions. I believe it was the head of the lady that's running Germany, that's their number one contributor to WHO, said that they need to be publicly shaming, they need to have political pressure, there needs to be financial pressures. She's on record, I have her quote somewhere here in my notes, that she's pressuring them to be much more aggressive with their response, to coerce, pressure, intimidate, publicly shame, whatever they need to do to make nations surrender and yield to their demands. So that's what that 24-hour and 48-hour deadline is. So basically, within 48 hours, they can take action, but their action is basically going to be coercion, pressure, whatever they determine necessary to make nations do what they want them to do.
So, I think we should be parlaying under the 10th Amendment via that these mandates are not enumerated or vested into the Constitution, meaning that they are now reserved to the people because the states in the federal government failed to adhere to the Constitution or their oath of office. This is tyranny. It's treason, and the people. We have the power, right? We just have to take it, right? And know what authorities under the Constitution we are operating under. And this right here is the authority, the 10th Amendment. All right. These religious accommodations, these are religious exemptions, why are we asking for permission that we already have through the Constitution? Why are we asking permission for something that we already have through the Constitution? It is blatantly unlawful and illegal and unconstitutional. Okay, so what we need to do is, under the 10th Amendment, if you get pushback, you have to understand that we are operating under the 10th Amendment, and the fact that the power is now reserved to the people. And if the attorney generals or the governors or even your senators and stuff like that, if they give you any pushback, right, say, hey, look, no, you work for us through the 10th Amendment right now because you guys have failed to adhere to our rights, or adhering to your oath of office. All right. So what I would like to see our little group do here is go to the sheriff, go to the Capitol Police, go to the Attorney Generals. I am hopeful. Look, y'all need to start contacting all of your reps right now about this WHO thing. We have to try to put pressure on it, even though it seems like it's dire. We only have 30 hours, right, to get our concerns on record to our elected officials. We can't go down there and peacefully parlay under the 10th Amendment if we have not went through the process of voicing our opinions to our elected officials. Okay, so everybody get on the horn, call your senators about the WHO, about the violations because of COVID-19, all right? Let them know that these powers are not enumerated or vested into the Constitution. They are unlawful and illegal and unconstitutional, and we demand the immediate end of them and the withdrawal of the amendments from the WHO, the withdrawal of the state of emergency, and the accountability to the violations of our rights. And,
Also, I would just like to add, if anybody has time to actually go to the live streams from the meetings that are happening in Geneva, Switzerland, and it's hours and hours and hours of videos. They've got Committee A, they've got Committee B. These regulations were on Committee A, agenda item 16.2 on the agenda for Tuesday, but they didn't get to they didn't get to it apparently on Tuesday. So if anybody's able to scroll through their website, I've been on the agenda. I just scrolled through the entire agenda for the rest of the week, and I don't see it listed as an agenda item per se. But I also need to try to look at the list of resolutions and what they've already decided, just to make sure that it didn't go through yesterday. They didn't like reassign it somewhere yesterday and it's not officially posted on the agenda, but maybe they put it in somewhere in one of the committees and maybe they did vote on it already. I don't know. So we got to try to figure this out.
No.
If anybody's able to help look through these live streams, look at what's already been approved, see if anybody can find any information on it, would be extremely helpful.
Hold on, Simon. Somebody in my chat keeps mentioning the Second Amendment. We are not enacting the Second Amendment right now. This is a peaceful parley. Okay, anybody that opens fire or fires upon somebody peacefully parlaying is internationally illegal. Okay? So,
Trying to prevent the use of the Second Amendment. I mean, really, that's what this is about.
100%.
Trying to prevent.
Tina says that I don't think this is true, Tina, because we've already looked at these live streams already, and we've seen them pass things through with unanimous decisions already. So the fact you're saying that they withdrew 12 out of Biden's 13 amendments, that seems very inaccurate. Because here's the thing, it's not even done yet. They're still debating today and tomorrow. All right. So how could you say that they've already withdrawn those? It doesn't make sense. We need accurate information, Tina. Okay. The only way to find out this stuff that I'm aware of is the live streams and the WHO website itself. Okay. And even the WHO website is not being updated, so you have to tune into the live streams. All right. Tina Z, email me what you're reading. I'll tell you what. You can email me what you're reading. We asked for help. I'm going to see what type of information you're reading. My email's in the chat. Go ahead and copy the link that you're reading and send it to me, and I will check it out. But as of right now, I don't think that that's accurate at all. But we'll see. I can be proven wrong. Why? Yeah, that doesn't seem accurate. But I will say that Wraith Wrangler sent $20. Thank you very much. And here's the thing. We have already seen the violations of our rights due to the COVID-19 pandemic. That's why I told Simon earlier that should be the backbone of what we're fighting right now. And yes, the WHO thing is equally important, but it's only equally important because we've witnessed the violations of our rights through organizations and influence and coercion and intimidation from the organizations such as the WHO, the CDC, the NIH, and all those other OSHA, all of them. All right. So we need to be governing ourselves in these instances. Okay. Our bodies are our most sacred homes, and breaking and entering, trespassing into our bodies with something we cannot remove through coercion, through intimidation, through lies, through treason, through it needs to end. Okay. And the Constitution needs to be the authority that we act under. So, it's getting late, guys. It's almost 1 o'clock, and we need to get going.
We need to get on the streets.
Yes, we need to get on the streets. And please help us make some T-shirts that say "We are magistrates," and also "Peaceful Parley." And we need to get some white flags. That way we have a little bit of a safety net while we're in the District of Columbia. All right. We are peacefully parlaying. All right. Now, somebody brought up the Second Amendment. Okay, to me that seems like no, that's not where we're at right now. All right, a good boss is going to use a peaceful communication to their employee that needs recommendations or needs discipline. Okay, so the fact that we are coming to peacefully parley with our own authority, being that the power is reserved to the people in this instance, being that these mandates are unlawful, illegal, and unconstitutional. It is medical rape. It is a clear violation of the Constitution. It is treason. It is tyranny. And the administrations that are trying to subvert and to sidestep accountability into organizations like the WHO is very, very, very concerning because of the clear violations that we've already witnessed due to COVID-19. All right, so we are looking for support. We are looking to garner some support and people that want to help us get T-shirts made up and some white flags. I haven't gotten your email. Tina Z, I have not gotten your email. Oh, and also, if you guys want me to, I'll go talk to a constitutional attorney. All right, I just put in the donation links. You know how much it costs for consultation to an attorney? Well, in my small little area, it's like $300 for a consultation fee. I bet you it's probably more in DC. If y'all want me to talk to an attorney, I can do that. But I can't afford it. I'll do it. I'll live stream it. Knowledge is power.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be a good thing.
So, see this Tina Z. I think you're a little bit off because you're saying that they withdrew 12 out of the 13 amendments. Now you're saying you think it will be unlikely to pass because of the backlash in the treaty. Like, if 12 out of the 13 amendments have already been withdrawn, then in your words, then it already has failed. But here's the thing. Simon and I have been doing our research, so we've watched things pass unanimously already through the live streams. So I know that is very unlikely. I have not received your source in my email. I am willing to read that, but I do not think that is accurate at this point in time. We had 2 people that work for Biden come up to us and try telling us that the information we were providing was wrong. When we went to look it up, come to find out we were right. We were right. All right. So, Sidney Powell, is that a constitutional attorney, Weathercat? Christy says Alex is Rep Stainer. Emma wrote that they were removed. I emailed you.
Colin Powell was the.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
who I was
yeah.
thinking of.
Yeah,
was the-
Sydney, she's the female.
Oh.
She's the female lawyer that was talking about releasing the Kraken and all that.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of somebody else.
Yeah, she's a female lawyer. I don't know if did she represent President Trump or, but I know she was back in the very beginning with all the election fraud and everything. She was working pretty hard on it. But Marion County former federal prosecutor and conspiracy theorist.
Well, she might be onto something.
Well, no, I mean, that's what they're trying to, this is the first thing that pops up if you Google.
Of course.
I also think we need to be setting up a petition to impeach Biden and Harris. I don't know. Is there any trusted petitions going on right now that have a large amount of signatures already? Anybody know that?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Thank you, Simon. I do agree. He said that's a great question, referring to looking for a petition to impeach Biden and Harris. Any trusted ones that have a lot of signatures already that we could blast and promote out there.
That's an important question also.
And yes, so we are looking to garner donations for white flags, T-shirts that say Free Parley or Peaceful Parley and We Are Magistrates. We're looking to buy a couple white flags, and also looking for the most important one, I think, is doing a consultation with a constitutional attorney. But it would have to be one that I trust. That could be expensive. You know what? Let me call. Let's see here. Attorney in Washington, D.C. What's some suggestion, y'all? Like, who's some Republican attorneys or attorneys that have been fighting for freedom in Washington, D.C.? This one right here is a personal.
That's Sydney. Remember her?
I do remember her. What? Wasn't she on Trump's administration or something?
I know she was taking on the whole fight with the election fraud and everything, against Dominion and
Oh yeah, Sydney Valley, yeah. Right, I
remember releasing Kraken and all that.
Yeah. Yeah, she was big on trying to help Trump initially early
Yeah,
on.
they want to try to paint her. I mean, even here, like in this very first article that pops up, they want to paint her as a conspiracy theorist. But
Yeah, she's a high profile attorney, but I don't, again, she wasn't really successful in helping Trump, to my knowledge, so I don't know, was she just a pawn, just like
yeah, I don't
a paid actor, like somebody that's, is she really a scam, or was she legit?
Was
but
she
they were
legit?
just,
But then they just
yeah,
did
they spun it and do what they do.
and do what they do as far as
Yeah.
Well, see, the thing is I think that she was trying to go after the election stuff,
Yeah.
which, I mean, apparently they didn't have good enough evidence or something like that. But with, the geo-tracking that's been coming to light, maybe there's enough evidence there now.
Well,
But
now she's taking on another project as far as trying to help these J6 defendants.
She is, okay.
Like through I guess I don't want to say a non-profit, but she's involved in that some way. I mean,
Okay.
I have to look into it a little more, but she's trying to
Gotcha.
help.
we talk to my stream. Tell them a little bit about what you're doing, whatever you're working on.
Yeah. All right, guys. So I am just trying to get updates on what resolutions, what things have been passed at the WHA 75 in Geneva. That's what I'm trying to look up right now as we speak. So I highly recommend for a browser to use Brave, B-R-A-V-E. It's a much more secure browser than Safari. It's a private browser. So that's what I'm searching in right now. So I'm not sure how to see comments to this stream. Well, this is going to take a while. So anyways, the other project I got to do, I'm going to put that on hold for just a second. I'm going to make a couple phone calls to some elected representatives that, like we did yesterday. Let's get on that again. I haven't had a chance to do that yet this morning, so let's get on that right now. Let me call my representative, Bill Posey. Yeah, good morning. Is this the office of Representative Bill Posey?
Yeah.
I'm a constituent of Mr. Posey in Florida, and I'm actually currently in Washington, D.C. to try to raise awareness and do some protesting for some serious issues that's happening. Is Mr. Posey is there any chance of setting up a meeting with him here in D.C. while we're here?
If you want to mute, just tap this
He is.
So he is not not available. You said in D.C. at the time.
No.
Okay. Can you please pass along some important information to him?
Yes. What would be your name?
So, my name. Well, a couple main issues. One is ending the current state of emergency. I don't know what Mr. Posey's position is on that, but somehow we need to get that to come to a vote in the Nancy Pelosi needs to bring it to a vote. I understand the Senate passed a resolution to end it, but it's stuck in some committee in the House, and it hasn't come to a vote. They're grossly abusing the powers of the government because of the state of emergency. And the mandates need to end. We need to have protections in place to prevent any type of a vaccine tracking system that is a gross violation of just basic privacy laws and privacy rights. So that's one of the big issues. The other issue that I'm concerned about is, according to Title 50, Section 1622, it states that any joint resolution, well, he can look it up, but it's in there that basically that both houses of Congress have to meet every 6 months to vote on whether a state of emergency should end or should be continued, and that has not happened. So both the Senate and the House are literally violating Title 50, Section Title 50, Section 1622.
Yeah, and I have that written down for you here. The congressman shares your concern with the vaccine tracking and the breach of privacy there. I have all those the three things written down. Was there anything else with your message?
There is. Right now, the World Health Assembly meeting in Geneva, Switzerland. I'm extremely concerned about the Biden administration amendments to the World Health regulations. It's document A75/18 that they're considering right now in Geneva, Switzerland at the World Health Assembly, the 75th World Health Assembly. So there's a ton of concerns. It's extremely dangerous the way these amendments are giving basically complete control for the general director of the WHO at his own sole discretion to make just sweeping, broad health decisions for any member nation of the United Nations. Extremely dangerous power control for the director of the WHO. I could talk to you all day about all of my concerns, and I would really like to talk with Mr. Posey sometime whenever he's available about all of my concerns. So I don't know if it's possible to get a call back or set up a meeting with him sometime would be much appreciated.
And the congressman shares your concern with the committee. Also against that he's co-sponsored a bill that actually would get rid of taxpayer funding for the WHO.
That's fantastic. That's very good. They're an extremely corrupt, dangerous organization. So that is great news.
Yes, and if you wanted to do a meeting, if you go to Representative Posey's website, you can request a meeting there.
Okay. Fantastic. Okay. Thank you for your time. Thanks for passing along all of this critical information. So,
Yes, of course, and have a wonderful day.
yep. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
You too, Alex.
So that was Mr. Posey. Apparently, he's actually sponsored a bill to withdraw funding from the WHO.
Woo!
So, right on, Mr. Posey. Mr. Bill Posey from Florida is a good guy. He's been in office a long time, but thankfully he's one of the better ones, at least, that's been in office for a long time. So, thank you, Mr. Posey. I still would like to meet with him about a lot of my concerns. Specifically, folks, do some research. Title 50, Section 1622, that requires any joint resolution to respond to so reported shall become the pending. Let's see. Oh, let me find the right section here. Sorry, the right part of this. It's a long section.
I'm gonna go get my pop and stuff.
Let's see, where was it? Sorry, I had this. I thought I had this in front of me. Yeah, Title 50, Section 1622, subsection B. And it states, let me just read that section for you. It's the heading is Termination Review of National Emergencies by Congress. And subsection B states, not later than 6 months after a national emergency is declared, and not later than the end of each 6-month period thereafter that such emergency continues, each House of Congress shall meet to consider a vote on a joint resolution to determine whether that emergency shall be terminated. And to my knowledge, everything I've been able to find, that has not happened. So Congress is literally in violation of Title 70, or Title 50 rather,
Yes.
Section
Good
1622,
job.
subsection B.
I remember that from last night now. Yeah. Thank you.
That's something that everybody can check out. Include that when you call your representatives. We need to be asking that question, asking that they follow the law and do what they're supposed to be doing by following the laws that they created.
Look it up for them.
I did. I just read it to them.
I know, but so they can see it and
Oh, you have a link to see
have
it
a link.
in reference.
Yes. Or if you just want to send me that link and I can put it in my chat.
No, look it up. Title 50. So it's USC Title 50, Section 1622. I'm not sure how to work your computer with all these screens.
USC section what?
Section, or
16.
USC Title 50. Section 1622, and then it's subsection B under the heading Termination Review of National Emergencies. Right there. That's it right there. So yeah, reference this, guys. Every phone call that you make to your representatives, we need to be referencing this to them as well in the phone calls. So I'm gonna call my senators next. If you guys, I don't know if you have anything else you want to add, or if I can.
We need to make more pamphlets. We need to make a couple T-shirts. We need to get a couple white flags. We need to get consultation. I want to try to do so with. Try to do so with Trisha Lindsay. I just called her and left a message. She's in Connecticut. Okay. And we also want to parlay under the 10th Amendment to the Capitol Police, to sheriffs. Our rights have been violated.
Here, y'all. Somebody one of these?
Yeah, thanks, man.
She just said try to keep them away from phones and stuff. I
Yeah.
don't think I had anything because I didn't have any.
Yeah.
I don't run with Lori. Are y'all good with her being here?
Yeah.
Okay. Stay here one second.
All right, y'all. So there's a lot to do. I lost my train of thought. Oh, yes, I was going to do this as well. So there's that one. Let's go here. I'm going to show you guys the so the proclamation, actually it'd be the proclamation 9994. But I mean, it's going to bring up the same thing. So, this is what Trump enacted, and this is what Biden has extended, and he has extended Proclamation 9994 through Title 50. And they did so unlawfully, meaning that they did not do so within 6 months. Okay? So technically, because they violated Title 50, Code 1622, and the Proclamation 9994, technically there should be no state of emergency right now because they did not follow the guidelines. We need Peaceful Parley t-shirts that say Peaceful Parley and We Are Magistrates. We need white flags. We need copies made. We need hotel rooms. We need consultation fees to talk to attorneys if that's what you guys want us to do. If you would like me to consult with attorneys with information that we have and all of this, the information that we've honed into the COVID-19 response via the Constitution, and we need y'all's help. Okay, whether it be looking stuff up, but see, here's the thing: the People's Convoy messaging. It started off with end the emergency powers, then it was end the emergency declaration, then it was end the declaration of national emergency, and it was also end the 1976 National Emergencies Act. And then now we have Title 50, U.S. Code 1622, also the proclamation of 9994, right? See, look, this is the illusion, Okay, before I explain to you the illusion, let me just reiterate that they hide all the little pieces of the puzzle in all this different code, all these different amendments. They hide little sections that synergize with their major plan, all in these different bills, right? So there's lots of things that we'd have to get rid of. And that's the illusion, that we have to get rid of that. See, here's the deal. It's color of law, okay? Through the supreme law of the land, which is the Constitution, color of law, and through the supremacy clause, they do not have the authority to enact on anything that is not enumerated or vested in the Constitution. So this is clear treason, this is clear tyranny, and all of it, anything that is involved with it, should get null and void, all right, and will get null and void. I mean, that's just what needs to happen. All right, so again, we want to contact sheriffs, the Capitol Police. We want to contact lawyers and attorneys, attorney generals. We want to contact your reps, all your governors, your senators, your congressmen and women. We have to get these these on record. You know, I'm going to play this video from yesterday. I think it was this one. It was a while before I even got to talk to him. Let me try to find it. I did not.
Your idea.
Oh, this guy. Yeah, that's me. What is it about?
They can choose not to be in compliance, but they'll lose their funding. This is police departments, school boards, correct? They can choose not to comply. They have that choice not to comply, but it's comply or economically die.
I want to try to find the part where I was talking to my attorney general's district
Well, the
director.
language is so vague that they literally could determine.
I don't think I'm there yet.
It's right here. And assume our authority.
That was nice. High five.
Oh, okay. So I must have
I handled
just.
that well, I think. Federal government fails to adhere our right
This is it.
under the states, the city.
This is me talking to the district director of my congressional district under the attorney general.
And police departments.
The Attorney General does.
Other st-
Dang, I didn't realize I was talking this long. I think I was giving my personal information right here. So let's see.
Corruption Act, or what's your role in the Attorney General office there?
Oh, I'm in the Health Center.
You're in the help center.
So, yes.
Well, I would like to speak to somebody close to the Attorney General to help us stand up against the violations of our rights due to the COVID-19 response through things like conspiracy against rights, deprivation of rights, domestic terrorism, USC 18 Title 2331, right? The workaround of Executive Order 14042 that coerced and intimidated businesses and individuals in other states and police departments.
The Attorney General doesn't take calls from individuals and
Individuals.
represent individuals. Okay?
He represents the state, correct?
So I will pass on your concerns
Is there any way I could set up a meeting with one of his associates? How do you, what channel would you recommend that I
The
take?
general doesn't represent individuals. Okay, they assist counties, states, or
Yes.
counties, townships, okay, and cities.
Yes. So our states,
They
counties, and
consult local
cities.
governments when assistance is requested. So that's what they do. Okay.
Okay, well, the states, the cities, and the counties have been coerced and intimidated into compliance with the recommendations from organizations like the CDC, the WHO, the NIH, Anthony Fauci, right? All these people have, through coercion and influence, have violated our rights under the state of emergency and color of law.
Turn left onto Constitution Avenue Northwest.
So how do you recommend we reprimand for these violations?
A private attorney.
A private attorney. Well, doesn't the attorney work for the states that have been coerced into compliance or lose funding?
Once again, the Attorney General consults with local governments when assistance is requested. Okay?
I see.
So I will pass this on. I'm typing it up.
Interesting. Well, here's the thing. The 10th Amendment, right? If the federal government fails to adhere our rights, it gets passed down to the states. If the states fail to adhere our rights, it gets passed down to the people, right? So I am a magistrate. I'm a lesser magistrate. Okay, when you say he doesn't talk to individuals, that's very offensive to me.
Okay, sir, I am not an attorney. I'm in the help center. I would be happy to pass on your concerns. Okay?
Okay.
Can
Well,
somebody contact?
can you have somebody contact me?
Okay, I can send this over.
Okay, I
I'm
got
not
you.
guaranteeing anything. Do you have an email address?
I do have an email.
Yeah.
I have wrote down that contact information, and I will send an email, but I am also calling and requesting a
Okay.
callback and a response.
Okay.
I mean, y'all work for us too. We're the people, right? I'm a constituent in Ohio.
Okay.
So when you say he doesn't meet with individuals, I am a lesser magistrate in this violation of our rights currently. Okay, and he does represent the people of Ohio, and I am a constituent in Ohio. So I am requesting a meeting with him or somebody that can do something about this.
Like I said, send an email.
His deputy,
with your
maybe even his
concerns
deputy
and
attorney general.
Contact information, okay?
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Alrighty, bye-bye.
Bye.
So, let me just, if you guys noticed there, as soon as I started talking about my rights. Hold on. Who is it?
Yeah, just me.
Okay, make sure the dog doesn't get
That's me, yep.
Yep, we're good. All right. So, as soon as I started talking about us, we the people, having authority through the 10th Amendment because they have failed to adhere to our rights, and these mandates, et cetera, are a clear violation of our rights, being that they're not vested or enumerated into the Constitution. She started changing her demeanor. She was like, oh, crap, maybe he's right. Oh, hopefully. I think she probably knew what the 10th Amendment was because she was like, oh, well, yeah, okay, I'm going to have to, we're going to pass this along now. And she started being a lot more cooperative. So, I mean, that's something that, some food for thought, right? That's what we want to continue doing, knowing your rights. Knowledge is power, empowering the people, right? Again, these mandates, this WHO stuff is not enumerated or vested into the Constitution. So, the fact that it's not vested or enumerated into the Constitution, the rights are reserved to the people, all right? Because they have clearly violated our rights via the COVID-19 response, all right? Lots of different aspects of that. All right. If you all want me to go through this big, I don't know where my, I have to see this here, right here. If y'all want me to go through this big old long email again, I can do that, but the time is short, right? That's just an example. There's actually more to it than all that, as we've shown with the proclamation of 9994 and Title US 50, Title 50. the 1976 National Emergencies Act. I didn't even add that in. I do think the Declaration of National Emergency plays a part in this as well, but that's the illusion that we would be looking for one bill or the other, or we have to get rid of such and such code or whatever. No, we have to impeach Biden. We have to get Biden to step down and get accountability for all the actions from the politicians that supported the continuation of the state of emergency, that they did not do so within 6 months. And yeah, we got to get going. So, guys, we need T-shirts,
Alex is
hotel
on
rooms,
doing his live stream
gas.
thing
We need
here, giving people an update
consultation
on
fees.
stuff. I just got done calling the senators and
There was one more. Oh, we needed copies to print out copies. So please, if you guys can support what we're doing here, please do so by calling your reps, or maybe even considering a monetary donation to the cause, so we can get some supplies and keep rolling out here on the streets. Like I really want to get consultation with an attorney, whether it be an attorney general or whether it be with like Trisha Lindsay. You guys want to watch a speech? Oh, do I have Rumble on this? I don't know if I have. Let me see if I can find it on YouTube.
I appreciate. Hello, New York. Hello. How you doing out there? Hey. Uncomfortable yet? Good. A little while ago, I appreciate his enthusiasm and his passion. It's everybody's rally. We need to leave this place empowered. You understand? It's not good enough to just come here and listen to speeches and go back home and get comfortable again. We are at war. We are at war for our families, our children, our lives. The 14th Amendment gives us due process. It guarantees us equal protection under the law. So why in the world are the unvaccinated being treated differently than the vaccinated? That's smart. It is the new segregation. It is the new discrimination. And we have to stop.
Just real quick, I'm going to check to make sure my OBS is screen shared. No, it's not screen shared. Okay. All right, we're going to go ahead and restart this. Boom. I'm going to go ahead and restart this. Did I screen share it? Yeah, okay.
Hello, New York. Hello. How you doing out there? Hey. Uncomfortable yet? Good. I want everyone to understand, and as much as that was a little out of protocol what this young man just said a little while ago, I appreciate his enthusiasm and his passion. It's everybody's rally. We need to leave this place empowered. You understand? It's not good enough to just come here and listen to speeches and go back home and get comfortable again. We are at war.
We are at war. This is attorney Trisha Lindsay out of Connecticut.
We are at war for our families, our children, our lives. The 14th Amendment gives us due process. It guarantees us equal protection under the law. So why in the world are the unvaccinated being treated differently than the vaccinated? That's smart. It is the new segregation. It is the new discrimination. And
That is true. And it's also retaliation.
Segregation, it is the new discrimination. And we have to stop it. Government for the people, by the people, will not be destroyed.
Nope.
recognize our power. We are magistrates. What is happening here today, what is happening around our state and in our city, is people are invoking the doctrine of the lesser magistrates. And most of you probably don't even understand what that is, and don't even understand what I'm talking about. Well, the doctrine of the lesser magistrates is the doctrine upon which this country was founded. It is the basis of the 10th Amendment, which says that any authority that is not given to the federal government is reserved to the state. And if our local leaders fail to protect its citizens and fails to step between a tyrannical federal government and its citizens, fails to protect the rights of its citizens, then those rights and authority is extended and given to the people. We, the people, is how the Constitution starts. A magistrate is a person that operates under authority. They have power. There are higher magistrates and there are lesser magistrates. The founding fathers of this country understood that there's going to come a point in time when the federal government will need to be checked.
This is attorney Tricia Lindsay out of Connecticut.
Understood that there's going to come a point in time when the federal government will need to be checked. If not, they will become tyrants. And that is what's happening now. So, the Declaration of Independence says that everyone, by virtue of being a human being, has the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The federal government, too, the federal government, their purpose is to protect the rights of those citizens, the rights of us to our life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. The third point of that document is, if they fail to protect its citizens and enforce those rights, the citizens have a right to revolt of those citizens, the rights of us to our life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. The third point of that document is, if they fail to protect its citizens and enforce those rights, the citizens have a right to revolt.
Attorney Tricia Lindsay out of Connecticut. Would you like to hear what she said? Let's actually go back a little bit. Simon, you need to hear this too.
Is the doctrine of, don't even understand our state and in our city, is people are invoking the doctrine of the lesser magistrates. And most of you probably don't even understand what that is, and don't even understand what I'm talking about. Well, the doctrine of the lesser magistrates is the doctrine upon which this country was founded. It is the basis of the 10th Amendment, which says that any authority that is not given to the federal government is reserved to the state. And if our local leaders fail to protect its citizens and fails to step between a tyrannical federal government and its citizens, fails to protect the rights of its citizens, then those rights and authority is extended and given to the people. We, the people, is how the Constitution starts. A magistrate is a person that operates under authority. They have power. There are higher magistrates and there are lesser magistrates. The founding fathers of this country understood that there's going to come a point in time when the federal government will need to be checked. If not, they will become tyrants. And that is what's happening now. So, the Declaration of Independence says that everyone, by virtue of being a human being, has the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The federal government, too, the federal government, their purpose is to protect the rights of those citizens, the rights of us to our life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness.
Let me ask you a question. Do y'all think that we are in pursuit of life, liberty, and happiness right now?
The third point of that document is, if they fail to protect its citizens and enforce those rights, the citizens have a right to revolt. We have a right to resist, and we have an obligation and a duty to do so. Do you understand? Do you understand what it says? A duty to step between a tyrannical government and its laws? They are coming for our children. We cannot sit down.
This is attorney Tricia Lindsay out of Connecticut.
Wow.
We cannot sit down. Every great leader knows, every one of them, even the bad ones know, that if you want to affect the country, you go for its children. When in the world do we start using children as bulletproof vests for us? When in the world do we start testing our children. It comes to us first. And when you come for our children, you have started a war. And we are answering to that war. Let's go to war! We are magistrates, and I need you, each one, reach one, and teach one. Do you understand? I'm the magistrate in this country, the United States government, our government, our local leaders have to answer to us. The Ninth Amendment says that any rights that are not enumerated in the Constitution are reserved for the people. So I don't want to hear that mandates are not enumerated in the Constitution, because for the fact that it's not enumerated means that that authority and those rights goes to us. Every one of these mandates are illegal. Every single one of them.
Just listen. I'm trying not to get distracted here. I think people just need to listen to her talk, not us.
Well, I'm gonna get a taxi and hit DC in about 10 minutes
Okay, well this is
if I have to.
this is
Because today's
over.
my day to get on the street.
This is over in 9 minutes.
Okay.
So
These mandates are illegal. Every single one of them. Under that 14th Amendment, due process and right to equal protection is the right to protect my body. When you want to push something into my body against my consent, without my consent, it is rape. And this is legal rape. Fuck that shit. When you want to take my children into a room and give them a Snicker bar and some damn fries and talk about come get this vaccine, it is tantamount to kidnapping. That's what it is. Call it what it is. You don't have control of my children. You don't have control of me. They shut our doors and try to give us God Fauci. To hell with Fauci. Fuck Fauci! He's a fraud! Fucking criminal! Churches are surrendering their pulpits to the demonic hostile. I'm not coming to your church. You're not getting my tithe. Are you crazy? Take your children out of school. I'm a former educator of 24 years. They stopped teaching them years ago. You just didn't know. Yep. Facts. You just didn't know. Facts. Education went to hell years ago. Facts. They taught them compliance. Yep. They stopped teaching them to think. Analytical thought went out the window with state exams. Yep. Those state exams are just being used to track your children, to determine who's going to college, to train them, to support this God-forsaken system, all the rest that's going elsewhere.
That's right, www.fdfcat.com.
If you're in corporate America, you're imprisoned by your lifestyle. If you're in the government, you're imprisoned by your job with good benefits. You understand? If you are on subsidy, you're imprisoned by their benefits. We have to get out their system, pull yourself out, pull your dollars out, and level it. All they care about is money. And you can see it with the flip-flopping of the guidelines and of the requirements. And who's at work, and who's not at work. And one court said this, and another court says that. We have to hold them all accountable. They want to read the Constitution, I'm ready with my pen. Because there's some changes that needs to be made. Get them all fucking notice! Sue them all! So they better be careful who they pull to the table. They better be careful what table is spread. Because I got some ideas, and I'm sure everybody here does too. Fuck yeah! No time to be comfortable. We have to fight. Every authority in this country, in this world, our laws were written and authority is delegated by God Almighty. When the laws of this country violate and go against and contradict the laws of God, then that government has become tyrannical. They have to be overthrown. We have to revolt. We have to resist and do anything we can to protect our freedom. And we must be involved. We must be informed. And we must be motivated to act. And we must act. Teach your children. Get them, they can stand and know what they're talking about. You understand?
Knowledge is power. We have to empower the people. That is why I talk about educating and learning and understanding the authorities that we have to act under. That is questions that neither one of these leaders of these convoys could produce answers to me about.
Educate, get them involved so they can stand. So that when someone approaches them, they can stand and know what they're talking about. You understand me? Educate yourself so that you know how to resist. They are trying to make these mandates into laws because by the 13th Amendment, if it becomes a law and we break it, we become involuntary servants. We become slaves. They are turning our country into one massive, huge slave ship.
Without liberty, it is all slavery. Shout out to Mike Mattingly.
They are turning our country into one massive, huge slave ship. And I don't know about you, but I'm not signing up for that.
That cruise line.
Yeah, preach it, girl. Preach it. Hell yeah.
Don't fight your neighbors. Don't fight your family members that are vaccinated and want to fight you. Walk away in peace. Try to educate them, and if they resist, leave them. Unfortunately,
Amen.
Try to educate them, and if they resist, leave them. That's why I'm here right now.
Walk away in peace. Try to educate them, and if they resist, leave them. Unfortunately, in every war there will be casualties, and a lot of times there will be people that we love. So be it. It is what it is. It is what it is. You love them from a distance. You pray for them, and you hope that they come over and wake up.
Right on.
We don't have time. We don't have time.
That's right. Those are our babies.
We are in a war, and we have to keep going. We have to be uncomfortable and be comfortable with being uncomfortable. We have to stand, and we are given a charge to fight for your families, fight for your homes, fight for your brothers, fight for your sisters. Because my God says, pursue the invading army. Because if you pursue them, you will recover. If we back up, we won't. These are uncircumcised Philistines. They cannot stand against the army of the living God. We are the army of the living God.
Amen.
Who we are and whose you are. Go back to your neighborhood. We are magistrates. Let me hear you. We are magistrates. We are magistrates.
Attorney Trisha Lindsay, y'all. Attorney Trisha Lindsay. I want to reach out to her. I think that she is amazing, and we need her help. She could help rally these troops, man. She's already doing it. This was posted like a month before the convoy even started. This in particular video is a recording of another recording. I'm pretty sure that they tried taking this speech off of social media. But she is correct. We are magistrates. Now, I gotta go. I need your help. We got t-shirts to make. We've got attorneys and attorney generals to contact. Please consider helping us out monetarily with your love. Just posted donation links in there. We got to get t-shirts made. We have to get white flags. We have to get we have hotel room costs. We have food costs. We have to get, what was the other one? Copies made. We had to get copies made, and a few other things. I'm probably having a brain fart right now, but we are magistrates. Be one, teach one. Wait, hold up. We are magistrates. Be one, teach one, and reach one. Signing off for now, y'all. We'll see you out on the streets.